Hey y'all, welcome to The Loop presented by Midwich. I'm your host, Joe Dunbar. You know I'm excited to be here with you all. It's about mid-July-ish. We're cruising through the year. We've got a lot of the big trade shows behind us at this point. I guess if you're a CEDIA person, that's going to be around the corner in a couple of weeks, but a lot of good stuff going on. Now, for an interview today, I've got my good friends, Chris Neto of Midwich US here. I get to work with Chris, and I've worked with him for a long time, and Jimmy Vaughan of Microsoft fame. Those guys launched a video pod series called Consultant Connect. I interviewed them and asked them kind of all about it. Who is it for? What's kind of the basis of the show and everything like that. And the three of us could certainly sit and chat for a long time if nobody stopped us, but it was a fun conversation, so please stick around and check that out. But before we get into it, you know I've got some updates for you. There's quite a few. I've got some new announcements, some new product stuff, so apologies if I don't get to everything, but let's dive in and see how we can get through this. Now, the thing I'm probably most excited about right now is our expansion in our partnership with AVID. I'm a musician, play several instruments, and I've been in studios. I mean, I was a front of house and monitor guy and spent time touring and things like that. And I love being partners with AVID, and we are expanding our available catalog with them, and we are now providing all of their venue digital mixing consoles and all of the hardware and accessories that goes with those. So our team, partner team up in Canada, SFM, has been working and doing this type of work for a long time. Obviously, we've been in this venue, so to speak, but hadn't had access to this kind of hardware before. So really excited to lean on their expertise as we get up to snuff in our training here, and to just deepen our partnership with our friends at AVID. That's really exciting stuff. If you've got a venue, rental and production, touring company, nightclub, anything like that that's looking for a mixing solution, definitely hit us up and we can help you out. Further down the audio line, we are expanding our partnership with Audinate, and we are now the exclusive distributor for the install adapters throughout North America. So that's very exciting, or maybe it's the US. Around here, right? Which is very exciting for us. I love working with Audinate. Everybody's Dante fans, audio and video, so excited to keep deepening our partnership with those guys. A lot of you probably saw from Infocomm. I did an interview with them, and we talked about it in depth, which I'm sure we can link here as well. It's on our YouTube page, but Bose Professional is going through a name change. They're changing their name to 802 Labs with a little nod to their, not the original, but one of their first most popular speakers, the 802. Not the first one, but it was one of the early ones. Semantics, people. Our friends over at Powersoft have introduced the new Prima lineup somewhat recently, maybe like 6-7 weeks ago. They really got it into the announcements out across the channel. There's two 4-channel versions of the amplifier. There's a 160 watt 4-channel and a 320 watt 4-channel. It's an install amplifier, half U size, so you can get quite a few in there. Of course, it's Powersoft quality, and I love that. But one of my favorite things about this, very little thing, it automatically detects the load that's on the output channel, so it will automatically set high Z or low Z based on the signal it detects, which is just a nice quality of life upgrade. And I talk about those all the time, because if you're in the field and you're installing these, it's very easy to let one of these little things go by and it messes everything up down the line. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this. And if you've ever been an installer, you are an installer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So shout out to Powersoft for bringing out the Prima line, and I can't wait to get my hands on those. If you've been paying attention, QSys launched some new products recently. We have talked about them and touched on them. There's a collab bar, the room scheduler, and some things. Activate was a little while ago, right before Infocomm, so just make sure you check out the lineup and you're hip to all of the current offering that QSys has, because they are expanding, it feels like daily. Last couple of things. My good friends over at Sennheiser, my former alma mater, they've launched the TCCM Plus, which is a new version in the TCC ceiling mic, unified communications kind of lineup for them. There's a bunch of quality of life features with that. One of the biggest ones is certainly like the configuration and deployment has gotten easier with the TCCM Plus. You can do it in a web UI. They have partner links, so you can do your configuration directly in third-party places like QSys or something like that. So if you're in the ceiling mic world and you've been using the same ceiling mic forever because you just know it and you love it, I get it. That's great. But check out the new stuff. In the last couple of years, there's been a ton of advancements in that game right now. So, companies like Sennheiser are doing the thing and bringing in new products. I love to see the innovation. Last thing, not really commercial focused, maybe a little more like personal workspace, but Logi dropped the MobiFold mouse and the Spotlight 2 presenter. I know a mouse and a presenter remote maybe don't sound like the most exciting products to talk about, but honestly, Logi always does a good job. I'm always Logi'd up in here. I've got several Logi of pieces around, and that was long before we ever worked with them. It's a good company that puts out good products, and so I've been using them for a long time. If you travel a lot and you're looking for a full-featured mouse that is a little more functional and has some features, but still travels and packs down well, the Mobi Fold is sweet. Literally collapses in half like an old flip phone. It's like the old Motorola Razr or something. It's awesome. And the Spotlight 2. You'd think that a presenter remote is just a presenter remote, but let me tell you, they found a way to pack some useful features into there. There's haptic feedback. There's all sorts of stuff. It's really cool. Check it out. Last piece, I guess, on the way out, we've got some AV Exchange episodes. I'm doing one with Turtle AV on July 16th. If this gets out before then, make sure you check it out. Otherwise, if this is out after then, next week, then July 23rd, I'll be sitting down with our good old friend Bobby Schwartz, now at A&D, to talk about, emergency notification systems and everything that they manufacture. So hop in, check them out. You can register. There's links on our website right on the front page, midwich.us. Without any further ado, those are the updates. Let's hop into my interview with Chris Neto of Midwich North America and Jimmy Vaughan of Microsoft, talking about their new video pod series, Consultant Connect. Hey everybody, I'm here. We're on the loop. I've got Jimmy Vaughan from Microsoft, Chris Neto of Midwich fame, the power, I don't want, the power duo. You guys, it's not often that I'm the least experienced podcast guy on the crew, so this is actually quite nice for me.
You've earned your lightsaber, dude, many years ago.
I appreciate it.
On this hold.
I didn't want to say that, Jimmy. I felt it though.
my hip.
That wasn't a water. Those weren't water bottles, folks. Those are my knees.
That's right.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the loop, you guys. I appreciate you doing this. Look, you guys have a new jam out, Consultant Connect.
That's correct.
I got that right. Tell me about what you guys are doing there, and why we want to tune in.
Well, you ever been in you ever pick up a magazine and rock bands talk about, like, man, if I ever had a chance to collaborate with somebody, I'm the guitar player, this is the great drummer, I'm the drummer, and I'm a bass player. We finally putting together we're getting a band back together
or something.
Yeah. So we've always talked about doing something together, and we finally have an opportunity to do it. What Jimmy's doing with Microsoft is amazing, and not just what he's done with Microsoft, but Jimmy's got the background in AV.
Yeah, right.
And he understands the language, which is great. Some of while I'm an AV person, he is consistently teaching me more and more about what teams can do and what's new. Because you know what? We're both insiders in our own way.
Right.
Microsoft and AV.
Yeah.
And why not blend them together?
Yeah, and I think it really comes down to, there's a part of the market here, people here at Infocomm, they're not neglected.
Yeah,
but I talk to consultants, I talk to integrators and everything else. But the consultant side is very, very difficult to have that conversation with, because they want to have that 5-year roadmap. And the truth is, in the age of AI, this is moving faster than we've ever seen.
There's no 5-year roadmap.
There's no 5-year roadmap. There's not even a 5-minute roadmap.
Right.
No. To some of these things and everything else. So when Chris and I were meeting with Monique here at Midwich, we really sort of said, hey, there is a need for us to attach to the consultant community and make sure we're having that conversation. Now, I'm having conversations with some of the consultants here and everything else, but we want to broaden that market. And that goes to some of the things that we've announced here today. I mean, we talked that last Consultant Connect that we had, there was a headline, Microsoft owns the conference room.
Yeah.
And if that's true, we need to make sure we're talking to as many people as we can.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, the customers are going to be coming to them and saying, we want to do this. So if we don't have the right message to the consultants and we're not addressing that crowd, it's really sort of a shortfall. And like I said, that sort of goes into some of the things that we've announced here today at Infocomm with Microsoft and Avixa, having this exciting training partnership that will be a 24/7 always on training.
Yeah.
This expands so that consultants can start to get to it. What Chris and I are doing are just that crux of things. Really what we wanted to do when we said it was, all right, we're not asking for an hour. We're not asking for 2 hours a week or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're asking for 10 minutes. We're going to give you that high level. But what are we going to do? Chris, we're probably going to drive people to this Avixa training. We're going to be driving people to different places so that they can get the more information.
That's where they get in the weeds.
We just want to give them that exposure.
Sure.
Yeah.
And have them understand so that when somebody comes to them and says, hey, I need a Microsoft Teams room, they're not looking like, okay, well, who do I call? What do I do? And everything else. I mean, it's great. People reach out to me on LinkedIn all the time, but I want this to be more of a, hey, proactive.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the same conversations. Everybody's got the same information.
Let me point you to all the places where we have this stuff established.
And Microsoft is challenging. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say
ship.
it's a big ship. And you know, one of the things that I've started saying here is let's stop calling this video conferencing.
We've had this conversation.
Oh my God, I want to.
Jimmy's gonna hurt somebody.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I just did it for a presentation I was doing, and the one after this, the title is actually "What's New in Video Conferencing," and I'm going to start the conversation with let's stop calling this video conferencing because it's such a term that is dated in this world. I mean, when I think video conferencing, I think complicated dial strings.
It's antiquated.
ISDN. I think all of these things that we used to do in the AV industry. And
iMux.
BRIs, ISDN,
NT1 box.
We can talk all of that language that we want.
Yeah.
But when we call it video conferencing, we are pigeonholing.
That's like the implication.
We are pigeonholing this industry into what are we? What are we? So, so I sort of sit there and I go, all right, if we're going to have this conversation, let's make sure that we're using the terminology right. Let's make sure that we're educating everybody. And a big part of that is making sure that the consultants understand. Please don't have that video conferencing conversation with the client. Have that conversation with the client. That's the platform. Make sure they're getting their security. Make sure they're getting their identity. Make sure they're getting their Teams rooms. Make sure that everything about that, their AI that they're investing in and everything else.
Places integration.
Places, all that stuff. And you know what? If somebody says, well, you know what? I'm a Zoom house. Great. Have that conversation with them about Zoom. Right. Because they are doing the same thing that we're doing and everything else. It's that idea that I don't want this to just be video and audio.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. One of the things, something that I can't claim to be the originator of it, but I kind of like where this is going, is that the video conferencing space was very, very specific, very niche.
Yeah.
And I think the term of the people that were using it was always an end user. It goes along the same lines, but when I heard somebody being referenced to as reference your end users, they're not end users anymore, they're content creators. Ooh. The space that you're now building for is sending out to so many different channels.
Yeah.
And part of not looking at it as video conferencing, it's not just point to point. It could be one to many. It could be one to a stream or into a recording.
Yeah.
It could be then something that you're writing that it's live now, but it's not going anywhere. It's going into a box.
Both of these things.
That's being chopped up.
Yeah.
So you stop looking at a video conferencing space as just that. It's a content creation space.
Yeah.
Because you're going to walk out of there and with Copilot notes in hand.
Yeah.
It now is not just a meeting. It just gave you a transcript, written notes. It is now doing the translation for you.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the space. When we originally started like this, even this space here, AVID on Air, it was a podcast studio. Specifically. It was nothing but a podcast studio. We're coming here, you bring your laptop, put it down, 4 mics, USB mixer, let's go.
That's what we had.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So now, here's the evolution. We go to ISE. I explain to people at ISE in a different language, because I can speak a couple different ones, and the guy comes over, he's like, hey, what is this? I said, this is a podcast studio. And they're like, oh. I look at that, the reaction was kind of odd. And this is where the light bulb went off. I'm like, wait, let's reframe this. This is an executive briefing session.
There you go.
That conversation.
Same gear.
Same
Different
hardware,
polish. Different finished kind of result we're looking for.
Change the table, maybe get rid of the microphone, give it a
If
wireless.
It's the executive. Yeah, we got to get
it's an executive
table or something.
Right?
These
so now
you're
not just making it niche for the executive anymore. You're giving accessibility to everybody to have that. And I think that's part of the beauty of where all this is going, is that Teams doesn't decipher what is high level, low level. It's everybody got the ability to do these things.
Yeah.
And to that point, the consultants are a lot of times the first ones into jobs.
This is,
I'll give an example that I just spoke about on stage. We have a grocery chain that actually came to the Microsoft team and said, hey, we want to have a morning meeting with all of our locations so that we can have a one-to-many briefing and everything like that. A consultant who may not know Teams rooms right, might go, oh, I need a broadcast. And I need to do this and everything else. We help that customer come up with a solution where they put in Microsoft Teams rooms inside of every single break room in all of their locations around the country.
Nice.
Now in the morning, CEO, the CFO, whoever it is and everything else that's holding that briefing about this is what we're doing today. And hey, here's some of the announcements. It's a Teams room on the far end, and it's a Teams room that's broadcasting that.
Right.
It's not a broadcast solution.
Yeah.
It's Teams room. Now, what is the rest of the day inside of that break room? The rest of the day is a digital signage unit that runs on Teams rooms. Again, this is the idea. These are so much more than just that video conferencing solution.
It's a true ecosystem.
Now we're pushing events. Now we're doing different things that we can do. But the first person who's inside of there, if that customer had gone to a consultant, didn't know, he would have put in a broadcast studio and said, "Oh, we need to be able to have
one to many."
And then you have the complication. Like what you're removing also is the complication of way back in the day, where as somebody who worked on site and had for a Fortune 100, we'd have to roll the trucks to come in.
Yeah.
And the viewing locations were not at your desk. They were, you had to go to a viewing location to do it. Now it's the inconvenience of it. Now you're not having, you have to download this app if you want to watch it. Now you already have that. You have it on your computer, you have it on your phone, you have it all you have everything in front of you. Pop in your earbuds.
Right.
Go outside, listen to the meeting. Right. And I think what we're also kind of getting at, and finally in the world of AV and just business in general, we're maybe starting to get to where we're starting to see video first. We've been saying this for years. The generation that's coming in now, the workforce, to them, video first is important. They will listen to a 30-second clip before they read a page email.
Yeah.
No PDFs, no reading, no nothing. Go ask somebody what kind of pen they like. They can't even tell you that anymore.
Yeah.
There's no handwriting. That's been replaced by this. This video will replace that. Right.
You should have seen me getting ready for this show on the first day the other day. I was like, I gotta have a pen. I'm sure I own a pen.
You're of the last generation.
I'm kind of on the brink of these things. But I tell you what, to your point, I very much like notebook and pen. I've gotten away from so much, and I'm very on my phone about it. And I'm millennial, so that the people younger than me are way further down that line.
But that's where we got to get out of these terms. Words matter,
right?
Everything else.
This is the full circle. Yeah, the way we're talking about it.
Yeah, and I think that's part of like I said, Chris and I aren't asking for an hour, a week, and everything else. It's a quarterly thing. It's. I mean, if we're on for 10 minutes, great. If we're on for 15 minutes, great. If we're on for 3 minutes, great.
You know what? Let's spoil it for people. Let's do the spoiler,
please.
Okay. It may be called Consultant Connect, but it's because we're doing the road mapping. It's in everybody.
Yeah.
Because
this is Jimmy and Chris giving the front end view. It's very relevant for consultants, and that's the line you guys are trying to connect for sure in the market. But everybody has something to learn here. I mean, I think there's been 2 or 3 now. I know I tuned into the most recent one, and I was like, oh. From behind, I had to minimize the window. I was like, I might learn something here. I should listen to these guys real quick.
Thank you. Well, that check's in the mail. Appreciate that. Our one viewer.
We fed on one guy.
Exactly.
It's me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, Joe, we're trying to just basically put some knowledge out there. Like I said, Jimmy has great insights into what Microsoft is doing.
Yeah.
I could tell you not just from what we as Midwich is doing, but what I'm hearing on the road.
You're out. Yeah. I'm out. Both are in front of people so much.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're hearing and seeing different things. And, one of the great things about what I do when I'm out and about talking to customers and I'm out with integrators, I get to listen to their customers. Mm-hmm. Getting to the end point is always to the end user or the content creator, some people call them. Getting to that point is very valuable because we understand how they truly, truly work. Yeah. We've always made assumptions, and we don't want to be at the ivory tower, just, hey, use this because you want trends. You go from you go to the end users.
Right.
They're the ones that are setting the trends. They're telling you what they want.
Yeah.
Even with the AI applications, you can go ahead and see, these wonderful, all these features. What are they using the most of?
Yeah. Right.
You can get really simplistic with it, or you can really go out of bounds and say, you know what, have you looked at that? So what we're trying to do is kind of educate folks that there are all these other applications that come with that, and then I tie it back to AV. Then he makes fun of me that I'm trying too hard.
I said we're having that partnership with Avix. Microsoft and Avix are going to do the training and everything else. A lot of that training is going to be audio.
Yeah,
right.
Where you put the mics.
Right.
I mean, such an important.
This is where Avix and their history is contributing.
And we have mics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what is audio? Audio, basically, at its core, is capturing moving air and everything else. If I've got mics that are away from us, or the beamforming mics aren't working properly, or something like that is happening, audio is audio is audio. That's why we make sure that we work with the best in class for a lot of these solutions. We're going to be teaching cameras. We got multiple cameras in front of us that are capturing us right now. This isn't sort of a new world for people.
Yeah.
But if you don't know Teams rooms and you don't know how they are capturing the signal, how they are working with this, that's what we really want to bring, and that's what we want to inform consultants on. I need a couple of cameras.
Yeah, right.
But how many do I need? How do I design this room?
How do I determine this?
Not even what kind. I mean, we have got all sorts of different manufacturers, but where are they placed?
Yeah.
When I'm looking at a screen and I'm having a remote an in-person solution, I don't want a camera that's way up there.
Yeah.
That's not going to have the eye line.
Yeah.
And the different things that we have. I mean, these are beautiful. They're mounted right at eye height, which is what we want to do. Again, we're not going away.
The value of an AV person.
Correct, but we're not going away from these.
No.
Yeah.
We just want to make
reinforcing them.
Correct. But if you hear Microsoft Teams rooms, it's a webcam and I just put it on top of the TV.
Yeah.
We are the state-of-the-art solutions for these.
It's amazing how, in some ways, we dumb it down so far back.
You got to be careful.
You got to be careful. But then at times when we try to move it forward ahead, and then you're like, man.
Words matter.
That's I'm with Jimmy on this one. Yeah. When you were like, "Oh, it's not video conferencing," I was like, "All right, Jimmy, what else do you got to say?"
I got some analysts that are like, well, "What do you want to call it?" And I think it fits more into unified communications than it does anything else.
Yeah.
But I don't even know that that's the solution because
this is collaboration, man.
Multimedia communication
moving so fast. We call it now the AI powered workplace because that's truthfully what people are investing in. They're going to invest in the AI. And I'm not here to tell you that AI is going to work. It's going to be this big solution.
Sure. It's a big thing. It means a lot of things.
You can't put it back into the
bag.
Yeah,
toothpaste.
Correct. It's like the internet. I've done some speeches recently and everything. I was talking about the internet in the 90s, right? And I was encountering people that said, you know what?
That's never
not gonna take off.
Nobody's ever going to buy their clothes online because we have to go to the mall and we have to try them on.
How are you going to try them on?
When was the last time you were at a mall, Chris?
Well,
that's the.
I'm excited to
that. He's from Jersey. He's definitely going to.
Dude, Mallrats was filmed in New Jersey.
Correct.
Come on.
Incorrect.
So that was filmed in Jersey at Monmouth Mall.
Edina in Minnesota. Edina Mall in Minnesota.
The
first mall. We'll get into it.
The outside.
The point is, yes, these technologies worked. They moved into those solutions and people adopted, and now their habits have changed.
Yeah.
Same thing is going on inside of meeting rooms. Yeah. Same thing is going on inside of offices. Same thing is going on with the way that we work right now. And we've got to bring all of the people, and that's where the Consultant Connect comes in, all of the people into this solution.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to join us here on The Loop, man. This is the Infocomm episode, so it's been a ton of fun, really expanded than our typical episodes. Jimmy Vaughan from Microsoft, Chris Neto of Midwich fame. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, buddy. There you have it, right from the horse's mouth. Jimmy Vaughan of Microsoft, Chris Neto of Midwich, their new video pod series, Consultant Connect, you can catch on LinkedIn Live, and the recorded sessions, I believe, are on our YouTube channel as well. Appreciate you all stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. We love the feedback and appreciate the input, and y'all for stopping by and joining us. We'll see you next time on The Loop.